Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Sam from Team X1 here. Happy Thursday! Today I'm coming at you with the brand new Yugi Moto. Yes, not Yami Yugi. You guys already know this by now. Yugi Moto was the one that actually used the Knights in the anime, and I'm super excited to be coming at you with the updated Knights deck profile post King's Court, okay? This is literally Yugi's deck. Like, it's insane, it's competitive. I got some cool combos at the end, like some sick combos like that at the end of the video for you guys to check out, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Anyways, before we get started with the video, I just want to make a quick announcement that tomorrow, Friday, is the live box break for King's Court. So if you guys haven't had a chance to purchase a booster box, make sure you guys get it today in the link down below. Spots are very limited, okay guys? So make sure you guys join the live box breaks today in the link down below at tx1.com. Alright guys, I won't waste any more of your time. Without further ado, let's start with the brand new Knights deck profile for the 2021 format. Alright guys, let's begin. This deck gives me so much of an anime type vibe, it literally makes me want to become Yugi. This deck is ridiculous. I think it's the most competitive version when it comes to utilizing the brand new ARCANA Knight monsters. And I'm gonna showcase you guys some cool combos in the end of the video as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So without further ado, let's start with the deck profile. First and foremost, we're gonna play, of course, the 3 brand new Joker's Knight. This card is absolutely phenomenal. Joker's Knight is a level 5 light warrior monster with the ability that reads that you can send 1 Queen's Knight, King's Knight, or Jack's Knight from your deck to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, this card's name becomes the sent monster's name until the end phase. So for example, if you summon this card by sending King's Knight to the graveyard, this card's name will become King's Knight, which is really good. During the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 other light warrior monster in your graveyard, shuffle into the deck, and if you do, add this card to your hand. So that's what's really good about the Joker cards, is that they're able to recycle themselves by shuffling back the Knight monsters that are in your graveyard, which is absolutely phenomenal. But nonetheless, this card is one of the best level 5 extenders for the entire deck, which you must maximize playing 3 copies of. Next off, you're playing triple copies of Imperial Vower. This card is essential for the deck. Essentially a reinforce the army on steroids. What it does is, you control no monsters, you contribute this card, take 2 different monsters from your deck amongst Queen's Knight, King's Knight, and or Jack's Knight, and either add it to your hand or special summon each monster. You can only use each effective Imperial Vower once per turn, so you literally get to search or special summon 2 of your Queen's Knight, King's Knight, or Jack's Knight directly on the very first turn, which is really good. And if you don't want to special summon them, you can always search them to your hand, which is absolutely phenomenal. So Imperial Vower is absolutely insane. You must play 3 copies of this card in the deck, and especially you contribute this card. If your opponent were to ash it, you can just chain cards like Gamma, since you control no monster on the field, right? So Imperial Vower works really well with Gamma. So triple copies of Vower. Really amazing starters. Next off for your Knights, we're gonna play, of course, double copies of Queen's Knight, double copies of King's Knight, and last but not least, double copies of Jack's Knight. These cards look absolutely beautiful. If you guys were to ask me which one looks better, Collector's Rare or Ultimate Rare, you guys already know. I love Ultimate Rares, especially from Elemental Energy. These cards look absolutely insane. And the reason why I'm only playing 2 copies of each of the Queens, Kings, and Jack's Knight is because these cards are bricks. You kind of only want to bring these cards out using Joker straight, which is what the spell card is designed to do. If you have too many copies of these cards in your hand, they're obviously not good. They're vanilla, so you want to minimize yourself on actually playing too many copies of these cards in the deck. I think 2 sets is fine. I don't think playing 3 of each is optimal in this specific variation of the deck. And remember guys, all the Joker cards can recycle these cards back into the deck, right? So you kind of don't want to clog up with too many copies of these cards in your hand, right? So I felt like 2 of each of the OG Knights is all you need in my personal opinion. So let me know your thoughts are. I haven't found any issues playing 2 of each. The only possible issues with these cards is just breaking on them, but other than that, I feel like this ratio is just absolutely perfect for this specific variation of the deck. And you guys know what King's Knight does. If you control Queen's Knight, while this card is normal summon, you get a special summon Jack's Knight directly from the deck, which is really good. If you open up with the Unexpected Die, you can go Unexpected Die into Queen, summon King, bring out Jack. I'll showcase you guys a more in-depth combo near the end of the video, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Next off, for your boss monster, you're gonna play the 1 copy of ARCANA Triumph Joker. What she does is super duper simple. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can send 1 Queens, Kings, and Jack's Knight from your hand or face on the field to the graveyard, special summon this card. This card gains 500 attack times the combined number of cards in both players' hand. So let's say each of us have 5 cards in our hand, she becomes 5,000, which is really good. And what's really awesome about her is that you can discard 1 card, destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls with the same type, monster, spells, or trap as the discarded card. If you discard a monster, destroy all face-up monsters, spell, trap, You guys know the deal. She's absolutely amazing. And the fact that you're able to search her off Thunder Speed Summon is absolutely phenomenal. Isolde can also search her directly from your deck to her hand on the very first turn, which is potentially really good to set up OTK plays the following turn, which is amazing. So Arcana Triumph Joker, really amazing for the deck. Next off, for the gods, I'm going to play, of course, one copy of Slifer the Sky Dragon, absolutely needed in the deck. You can easily go first, set up Slifer plays, which is absolutely amazing. And of course, the one Winged Dragon Raw Spear Mode, and that's the only 2 god card I'm playing in the deck. And the reason why I'm playing Spear Mode is because this card is used as an interruption during your opponent's turn. It's 2-card combo, where if you're facing against a combo deck, you can literally just Spear Mode your opponent on your opponent's turn, which is absolutely ridiculous, right? But nonetheless, Slifer the Sky Dragon, I believe, is like the best one out of Obelisk and Raw. It's all up to personal preference, but I felt like this card is just a really broken floodgate built within itself, right? Which is really good. So Slifer is amazing, and the Spear Mode. Next off, your extenders, the 1 copy of Inferno Knight Reynold and the 1 Fireflint Lady. I'll showcase you guys combos involving them near the combo tutorial, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Next off, for the best hand trap for this deck is triple copies of Psyframe Kirigama and the 1 Psyframe Driver. The reason why this package is necessary for this deck is because cards like Imperial Bower, tributes for cost, you have no monsters on the field, your opponent were to ash it, you can gamma. If you activate Joker straight and your opponent ashes, you can gamma. There are so many different opportunities that you can have access to gamma to quickly make Psyframe Lord Omega, which is incredible, right? So triple gamma and driver, absolutely mandatory to play in this deck. Next off for your spells, very awesome. Triple copies of Joker straight. All the Joker cards have an amazing effect where they're able to recycle themselves every single turn. So Joker straight, you can discard 1 card, special 1 Queen's Knight from your deck, and then add 1 King's Knight or Jack's Knight from your deck to your hand. Then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon 1 monster. So you get 2 additional normal summon the King's Knight. Once King's Knight comes out, you bring out the Jack's Knight, and you basically combo off from there. And during the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target a light warrior monster, shuffle into the deck, and add this card to your hand. So this card is really amazing because it recycles itself every single time when it's in the graveyard during the end phase, and by doing that, this card ensures that you always have a follow-up play for the next turn, which is really, really good. And remember, it shuffles back the Jack's Knight, King's Knight, and Queen's Knight to the deck, so you don't need to play 3 sets of those cards right there, right? So Joker straight, absolutely insane, the best card in your deck hands down. Next off, of course, you're gonna play triple copies of Thunder Speed Summon. If you control all 3 knights, you basically get to add a Slifer Spear Mode or a Triumph directly from your deck to your hand, and then you get to normal summon them immediately, which is really, really good. So it searches up your gods and your Triumph, which is absolutely phenomenal. And this is the card that you're going to use on your opponent's turn, so that way you can Spear Mode on your opponent for those combo heavy base decks, right? So Thunder Speed Summon is just really good for that. And the last Knight card you're playing in the deck for your spells is Face Card Fusion. This card allows you to fusion summon into your Joker, which is absolutely phenomenal, right? So fusion summon 1 Light Warrior Fusion monster from your extra deck using monster from your hand or field as fusion material. If you control Queen's Knight, King's Knight, or Jack's Knight, you can use 1 monster from your deck as fusion material, which is really good. So it's kind of like a Shadow fusion, which is really nice. Next, of course, 1 Rhoda, since your entire deck is all warrior monsters. Next off, Prosperity, triple copies. The reason that Prosperity is important is because you want to try to see your Joker straight as quickly as possible. That's the card you want to see in your first opening hand. So Prosperity becomes really important, and it's one of those cards that helps you dig 6 cards deeper into your deck to see the combo pieces that you need. So Prosperity is really important in this deck. If you guys don't have access to Prosperity, I definitely recommend playing cards like Extravagance. If you guys don't have Extravagance, I would not recommend Desires because you don't want to be banishing your knights, but either Prosperity or Extravagance is off the personal preference, but I feel like this card always guarantees you to get your Joker straight, right, which is really good. Next off for your extenders, again, double copies of Unexpected Die. Really awesome to trigger out Queen's Knight directly from the deck on the very first turn, especially if you open up with King. Next off for your equip spells, the 1 Durandal, searches your Fireflint Lady, 1 Living Fossil. This card right here, you can get access to this card from your graveyard to your hand off Reynolds effect, and it's also a really awesome extender. And the last spell card is Double or Nothing, because Utopia is a light warrior monster, right? So this deck can easily set up for OTKs, which is insane. And last but not least, you're playing triple copies of Joker's Wow. This card is so good. Card's wild. So basically what it does is that essentially becomes any of the names of any of the night cards that you send. So basically what this card does is that you can send Joker straight to the graveyard. This card literally becomes Joker straight. So you can play on your opponent's turn, which is really good. This card also becomes Face Card Fusion as well, which is really amazing. So you're essentially playing like 6 copies of Joker straight and 4 copies of Face Card Fusion, which is really good. And it has the same ability as Joker Straight. All Joker cards have the ability to shuffle back a knight from your graveyard to add them to the hand during the end phase, which is absolutely incredible, right? So Joker's Wild is absolutely insane. I love this card. I think it's one of the best cards in your entire deck. Ensures that you always get to play on your opponent's turn, and it also dumps your Joker straight to the grave, so that way that you can always recycle it during the end phase, which is absolutely incredible, right? So triple copies of Wild, absolutely insane to play in the deck. Alright guys, get started with the extra deck. Start off, of course, ARCANA Knight Extra Joker. Really easy to make this card, and negates basically anything that targets monsters that are under this card zone. And when it dies, it specials and also searches, which is really good. Next, we're going to play, of course, the one copy ARCANA Knight Joker. You can easily access this card using the Fusion spell, and it has that built-in protection within itself, so you can easily just summon this card, go into battle attack, and you don't have to be scared of cards like Widow Anchor or things like that, right? So the Joker Knight is just really good. Next off, of course, the one Omega, because you were playing Lambda. The one Zeus. One Pleiades. Pleiades is absolutely mandatory. One of the best rank 5 Xyz in the entire deck for sure, and it's also a Warrior Light. Next, Utopia Double, number 39 Utopia, and of course the Utopia the Lightning. Really awesome Utopia package right here. They're all light warriors, which you can make under Joker Straight. And next off, you're gonna play the one Excite on Night. You can easily make this card blow up the entire board. For your links, one lineup, the Light Charmer. The best card in the extra deck is Isolde. Card is really amazing. Searches basically anything directly from your deck to your hand, so it gives you access to great follow-ups, and it's also one of the best extenders in the entire deck. Next off, of course, Phoenix, Unicorn, Lambda. Really amazing generic link monsters right here. And last but not least, we're going to play, of course, the one copy of Access Code Talker, which is absolutely phenomenal. Help break boards and also to enable OTKs as well. So that's pretty much it for the main deck. Let's go on to some of the combos you guys can do with this deck real quick. Alright guys, welcome to the combo segment of this video real quick. I'm going to showcase you guys some basic combos that you guys can do with this deck. So without further ado, let's begin. The first combo is going to be Joker Straight, Joker's Knight, and any discard, okay? You need to discard for Joker Straight. So essentially a 2-card combo. You start out with the 5-card opening hand. This is the perfect way to set up your first turn board, which is really good. And this also ensures that you always have a follow-up on the following turn, which is really nice. Alright, so here we go. First and foremost, you're going to activate Joker Straight. What this card does, this card is going to discard your random card that's in your hand. You are going to special summon Queen's Knight directly from the deck, and then you're going to add King's Knight to your hand, and then this card allows you to normal summon again, which is really awesome. You're going to normal summon King's Knight, okay? Once King's Knight is summoned, you're going to activate King's Knight's effect to special summon Jack's Knight directly from the deck, which is really good. Now you next, using Queen's Knight and King's Knight, you're going to link these two to the graveyard. You're going to make Isolde, okay? Now you're going to activate Isolde's effect. You get to search Imperial Bower directly from your deck to your hand, which is really good. Great for follow-ups. If your opponent breaks your board, you can easily recover with Bower, which is really nice. Now what you're going to do is very simple. You're going to activate Isolde's effect. You're going to send the Infernal Arms Durandal to the graveyard to special summon, of course, the Reynolds. Once Reynolds is summoned, you can activate Reynolds' effect to basically add the Durandal to your hand, which is really good. Then you can activate, of course, Durandal, equip it to any monster. Use this effect to search the Fire Flint Lady directly from your deck to your hand. Now what's going to happen is that Durandal is going to destroy itself. Since you control a warrior monster, you get to trigger out Fire Flint Lady's effect to special summon itself to your side of the field, which is really nice. And now what's going to happen next is that using Isolde, Reynolds, and also the Fire Flint Lady, okay, send these 3 cards to the graveyard. You're going to make the ARCANA Extra Joker right here, which is absolutely phenomenal. And now what's going to happen next, you're going to summon Joker's Knight by sending your Jack's Knight to the graveyard, which is really good. Special summon Joker's Knight, overlay these 2 right here for your Pleiades, which is really good. So this card protects the Pleiades, and Pleiades, the bounce is really awesome. And if this card dies, you basically get to search and also special summon the monster. And now what's going to happen next, so during the end phase, since Joker Straight is in your graveyard, you get to activate Joker Straight's effect. You shuffle back the Jack's Knight that's in your graveyard into the deck, okay, to add this card to your hand, which is really good. So that way you have a follow-up on the following turn, which is really nice, right? So on the following turn, if they can't break your board, what you can do is the same thing. Joker Straight, send Bower to the graveyard, special summon Queen, normal King, activate King, bring out the Jack's Knight that you shuffle into the deck, which is really awesome. Now it's very simple. If you have a huge monster you're trying to get rid of, you can literally overlay these 2 right here for the Utopia Double and just basically attack for a game. So this is off 2 cards. The follow-up is insane. You have a mini interruption. You have a mini disruption right here. Obviously, this isn't like the best board, the craziest board, but we're playing, of course, the ARCANA Knights, right? We're trying to make the best optimal board as consistently as possible. And you kind of don't want to overcomplicate things by playing, you know, Rusty, Bardiche, and all that. There's so many cool combos you can do with this deck, but I wanted to strictly stick to pure Knights, right? So that's pretty much for combo number 1 with the crazy follow-up right here. Let's go on to combo number 2 real quick. All right, guys, for combo number 2, this is called Setting Up Spear Mode. All you need is Thunder Speed Summon and Joker's Wild, and that's pretty much it, and a card to discard. So if you know that your opponent is playing a combo-heavy base deck, this is probably the best combo to go towards, right? So what you do is super simple, okay? You're gonna set Joker's Wild and Thunder Speed and your turn, okay? During your opponent's turn, they do shenanigans. They have 3 monsters on the field. What you're gonna do is that you're gonna activate your Joker's Wild. Activate this card's effect. You're gonna discard 1 card. You're gonna discard 1 card from your hand to the graveyard to activate Joker's Straight directly from the deck. Joker's Straight is not gonna trigger off its effect. You're gonna basically special summon Queen, add King to your hand, immediately normal King, activate King, special summon Jax directly from the deck. And then immediately, once that resolves, you get to, of course, activate Thunder Speed Summon. Since you control all 3, you basically get to add Spear Mode or Slifer to your hand, which is absolutely incredible. Let's say you're playing against Salamangreats. You contribute these 3 to summon, of course, Slifer the Sky Dragon, which is really awesome disruption and floodgate against decks like Salamangreats. You know, they often just die to discard immediately, which is really, really good. Or if you're playing against a combo deck, you can literally just Spear Mode your opponent, which is really awesome. And of course, your Knights will still remain on the field, which is really, really good, right? If you Spear Mode your opponent's entire field, and usually at that point, if you Spear Mode your opponent on their turn, they're pretty much just gonna pass turn. There's not much outs to Spear Mode unless they have like a bunch of like a million gazillion extenders, right? Which is really good. So Spear Mode is important because you can Spear Mode on your opponent's turn to disrupt their plays, right? So that's like kind of like a mini cool way to just Spear Mode your opponent on their turn, which is really good. And if you decide to summon Slifer, what you do is that during the end phase, it's simple. You literally get to shuffle back 2 of your Knights to the deck to add Joker's Wild and also Joker's Straight to your hand, which is really great because, like I said, guys, what this card does is that during the end phase, if his card is in the graveyard, you can target 1 Light Warrior monster, shuffle into the deck, and add this card to your hand. So you're literally just adding these 2 cards back, and then the following turn you just go Joker Straight, send Wild, and then, you know, like you basically just do the same thing the following turn, and then you could just overlay these 2 for the Utopia double if you guys would like. It's all to personal preference on the type of combo route you guys want to go towards. Nonetheless, guys, both combos are just really, really awesome, and the fact that all the Joker cards recycle themselves is super duper exciting. So guys, that's pretty much it for some of the cool combos you guys can do with this deck. Let me know your thoughts about this deck profile in the comment section below. I think this deck is super fun. I think it's the most competitive version when it comes to utilizing the brand new Knight cards. You know, it's pretty strong when you have the pieces in your hand, and it's just a really overall fun deck to play if you guys were to ask me. So thank you guys so much for watching. That's pretty much for the deck profile. Let me know your thoughts about this deck in the comment section below. And it's your boy Sam from Team Star Sam signing out. Alright guys, peace.